All right, let's talk about our dogs. We love them, but let's be honest, sometimes they are just plain weird. From spinning around to nibbling on grass, their little quirks can be pretty baffling. Today, we're going to crack the code on some of their oddest behaviors, and I promise you'll look at your furry best friend in a whole new way by the end of this. You know the feeling, right? You see your dog doing something totally bizarre, and you just think to yourself, what is going on in that little head of yours? Well, you're not alone. Today, we're finally going to get some answers. And to do that, we have to start by looking way, way back in time. So, first up, let's dive into the behaviors that are basically leftovers from their wild ancestors. Yeah, your dog might be a fluffy potato who loves belly rubs, but trust me, there's still a little bit of wolf in there, and it comes out in some pretty strange ways. Okay, let's start with a classic. Picture this. You're out for a nice walk, everything's great, and then suddenly your dog decides to become a part-time lawnmower, just chomping away on grass. You're probably thinking, are they sick? What's going on here? Well, you might be surprised to hear this, but most of the time, this is totally normal. Sure, sometimes they eat grass to make themselves throw up if their tummy is upset, but often they're just looking for a little extra fiber or some nutrients their diet might be missing. Think about it. Their wild ancestors used to eat prey that had plants in their stomachs, so this is really just an instinct kicking in. It's literally written in their DNA. And those wild instincts pop up everywhere. Ever wonder why they love rolling in really stinky stuff? Well, that's an old hunter's trick to mask their own scent. And all that digging in the backyard. That could be anything from burying a treasure for later to making a cool spot to lie down, or just, because they're bored. And get this, that little circle dance they do before they poop, it's not just for show. They're scanning for danger, and believe it or not, some studies suggest they're actually trying to line themselves up with the Earth's magnetic field. How wild is that? Okay, so it's not all about their inner wolf. A lot of these weird habits are actually them trying to communicate with us. They have a whole secret language, and it's time we started listening. Oh, you've got to love this one, the head tilt. It is maybe the most adorable thing on the planet. You're talking to them in that high-pitched voice, and their little head just cocks to the side. It really feels like they're hanging on your every word. Turns out they kind of are. There are two amazing reasons for this. First, they're moving their ears around to figure out exactly where your voice is coming from. But here's the really cool part. Their own snout actually blocks part of their vision. So when they tilt their head, they're getting a clearer look at your face, trying to read your expressions. It's their way of showing you they are 100% engaged. Now, a yawn might seem simple. For us, it usually means we need more coffee. But for a dog, a yawn can be a whole different language. If your dog is at the vet's office and suddenly starts yawning over and over, they're not tired. They're actually stressed out. It's what's known as a calming signal. They're trying to calm themselves down and also tell everyone around them, hey, I'm a little freaked out, I'm not a threat. Next up, let's talk about how our dogs show affection. But this is where things can get a little tricky, because sometimes a signal that we think means one thing can actually mean something else entirely. You know this scene. You walk through the door after a long day, and your dog comes running, tail going a mile a minute, with their favorite soggy, squeaky toy in their mouth. Your first thought is probably, oh, they want to play. And maybe they do, but there's often something much deeper going on. This goes right back to that pack mentality. In the wild, sharing valuable things, like food, is a massive sign of trust and respect. So when your dog brings you their absolute favorite toy, they're giving you a gift. They're presenting you with their most prized possession to say, I love you, I trust you, welcome home. It's a huge compliment. Okay, everyone, listen up, because this one is so important. A dog rolling over to show you their belly can mean two completely different things. If their body is all loose and wiggly, tail wagging gently, that's pure trust. They feel safe, and yes, they definitely want a belly rub. But if their body is stiff, they seem frozen, and they're avoiding eye contact, that is not trust. That's submission. They're scared and trying to show they aren't a threat. Petting a dog in that state can actually make them even more anxious. And finally, let's get into the really heartwarming stuff, the behaviors that show just how deeply, incredibly connected your dog is to you. Let's be real, if you're a dog owner, you probably haven't been to the bathroom by yourself in years, right? They follow you everywhere, from the kitchen to the bedroom. They're your own personal furry shadow. So why are they so clingy? Well, the reasons are actually pretty beautiful. First, you're their pack leader. You're the center of their whole world, so being near you just feels safe and right. Second, they're not dumb. They've learned that when they're near you, good things happen. Treats, walks, your scratches. But the simplest reason is also the best one. At the end of the day, they just plain love you and want to be wherever you are. Ah yes, the classic seat steal. You get up from the couch for just a second, maybe to grab a drink, and when you turn back around, boom, your spot is taken. It's funny, for sure, but there is a reason for it. So a lot of people mistakenly think this is some kind of power play, like the dog is trying to be dominant. Nope, it's actually the opposite. It's an act of love. Your spot is warm, and more importantly, it smells like you. For your dog, being wrapped up in your scent is like getting a big, warm hug. It's incredibly comforting, and their way of staying close to you, even when you've just stepped away. See, when you start to understand the why behind all these little behaviors, it's more than just fun trivia. It can actually change your entire relationship with your dog and make that bond you share even stronger. Every little thing they do, from that cute head tilt to stealing your favorite spot on the couch, it's all part of a conversation. Once you start learning to speak their language, you can build an even deeper, more amazing connection with your best friend. All right, now it's your turn. We've only scratched the surface of all the wonderfully weird things our dogs do. So what's the most bizarre, unexplainable thing you've ever seen your dog do? Let us know in the comments below. Let's compare notes. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.